Pontiac Excitement 400 was the first short track race of 1992, if you consider a three-quarter mile track a short track. Now, the people here at the Richmond International Raceway consider this a super speedway, and in many ways it is. Now, it was an exciting race that lived up to its name, so let's catch up on the news and the highlights of that race with Randy.
Qualifying for Sunday's Pontiac Excitement 400 was almost rained out, but by 11 a.m. the skies cleared and the cars rolled for practice. Time trials went off on schedule. Kyle Petty was the quickest until Davey Allison turned up the wick. Then it was Bill Elliott. Elliott broke the event record, setting himself up for a possible $197,000 Unicel bonus. Saturday morning's practice session was rained out. After the Busch Grand National event, the teams took to the track for 1 hour. Many spent more time in the garage area than they did on the racing surface. When the red flag fell at 4:30, most were still scrambling for the right setup. Unfortunately for them, Bill Elliott was not. Elliott's pole position proved that for the third race of the Young Winston Cup season, he was once again the guy to beat. Elliott rolled off to an easy early lead over Davey Allison. They were followed by Sterling Marlin, Harry Gant, Hut Strickland, and Alan Kowicki. For the second straight race, Kyle Petty's car experienced handling problems, falling from contention early. Brett Bonine busted a right rear axle, and he went behind the wall more than once. Meanwhile, Elliott continued to cut through the field like a precise surgeon, lapping all but 13 cars by the time the first caution flew on lap 100 for Jimmy Means' blown engine. After pit stops, Elliott held his position, while Davey Allison and Harry Gant went at it for second. As the race hit halfway, guys like Morgan Shepherd, Jeff Woodine, and Dale Earnhardt were already a lap off the pace. By the next round of pit stops, Gant got out front. The Bandit was able to steal some of Bill's thunder, at least for 48 laps. Michael Waltrip was on the move until he brought out the second caution, also for a blown motor. A break for Alan Kowicki, who was almost a lap down in his Hooters Ford at the time. Soon after the restart, Elliott would once again assume the lead, one he would hold until the finish. The 6 lead lap cars all pitted under caution for Brett Bonine's spin in turn 4. Just 4 laps later, Mark Martin hit the wall, also in 4. Only Allison would come in for tires. They'd go green the final 153. Gant a solid second to Elliott. Kowicki, Waltrip, and Allison, as well as Rudd, running for third. But Kowicki came on, conquering Rudd and Waltrip, then Gant for second. And with 20 laps left, had a shot at the win. Kowicki got alongside Elliott on the final turn. Coming off the fourth corner, the 2 Fords went hood to hood, and it was Elliott by a bumper to pick up the second highest payday in Winston Cup history, $272,000.
You know, Alan and Ricky and several other guys that got hooked up pretty good there at the end. My car got a little bit tight getting in the corner. You know, I raced Sterling pretty hard there the last 40, 45 or 55 laps, and I knew it was going to be tight.
Pretty good payday for you today. How's that feel?
Oh, no doubt. I knew when it come down to the checkered flag it was going to be close, and it was, son.
You know, I said we got a lot of our problems out of the way last year, and we're going to come back and be a consistent team, and we will. We had a good run at Daytona. We would have been right in there at Rockingham last week, and they certainly knew we were there today. But, you know, maybe I should be happy for second. Tough to take. We'll be back.
It's always interesting in the first part of the season to see how the point standings change from week to week, and we'll see that for the next several weeks, I'm sure. We need to take a short break. Still to come on this edition of Inside Winston Cup Racing are highlights of the Hardee's 200 Busch Grand National race and part 1 of a special segment on Rick Hendrick. And as we leave you for this break, here's the balance of the finishing order for the Pontiac Excitement 400.